Hello everyone, it's Charlton. This is the Schuylkill River behind me, and I did manage to get down here. There's not a lot of daylight left, and there's more heavy rain expected tonight. Flash floods are, flash flood warning and stuff. So I'll try to be quick. I'm just going to keep walking. This is in Conshohocken. It's a couple big office buildings, and behind me. This is, nobody comes down here. I'm familiar with this place. I know this area quite well. Flooding's been a huge problem on the East Coast. I saw Hershey Park was closed today for the second time this week. So, and I've seen pictures in the news of where the rivers, the little streams that run through the park, the water's like all the way up to the bridge, the pedestrian bridges. So I'm gonna keep walking this way and talk while I walk. So there's so much to talk about, man, and I'm not super prepared. I saw QAnon, made several posts, like 12 of them. There was actually one late last night, and then many more today. And I'm not going to go through that either. And I'm not even, that's not really my thing. I'm just learning that stuff right now, and I have different views on that. But I also saw, I talked about the purge, the purge 2.0, which I do think could be upon us. But also, it's not, I don't think it's what everybody believes, I'm not so sure that it's YouTube that's behind the purge. I mean, I saw an article in PURGE today, which I believe covers technology. And so I was really shocked to see, the holes in the reporting, I mean, being somewhat familiar with YouTube now and knowing the rules and how you get strikes and stuff like that. But InfoWars was basically in the news, and they got another strike. But apparently they had 4 videos removed in the same day, and that only counted as one strike because of a technicality. That sounds extremely weird to me, and they got 3 videos removed for hate speech of a couple different kinds, and one for child endangerment. And I think a lot of other people had videos removed for the same thing, for the child endangerment thing. There's something about a kid being pushed down and by an adult or something. I haven't seen the video, but I have different opinions on the Purge 2.0, like I'm calling it. My last video I ended with crisscross, man, and I was talking about the movie Throw Mama from the Train. How Danny DeVito, basically, he goes to his teacher, who's Billy Crystal, and they'll do each other's crimes for each other. And Billy Crystal doesn't want to do that, but it's actually a really brilliant plan because you do somebody else's crime for them, and they do your crime for you, and neither one of you has a motive for your own crime. So it's almost impossible to solve. I mean, that's an essential piece of every crime, every criminal case, is the motive. And what I was suggesting in that is that I believe there's a group of creators that were behind the Purge and the coming Purge 2.0 that I think's coming. And what I was suggesting with crisscross is that you basically have creators, taking out other competitors for each other, and that don't necessarily compete with themselves, but they do it for each other. And I think there's a group of creators, big and small, some very big maybe, and I'm not going to name any names here. But, wow, can you see that train over there? It's pretty cool. So, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Just to give you a better view of the water. I mean, you really probably can't tell by the camera, but it's moving along, man. It's high. That's the Schuylkill River right there in Conshohocken. I mean, it's cruising. Normally it's fairly stagnant, and it's moving. It's very I keep hearing almost like fish down there. Crazy. Very cool though. That's why I came down here. And tomorrow it should be even higher. It's really cool down here. The buildings, the commercial buildings, this place has exploded growth-wise. I may just sandwich this in the middle of all right, so just to give you a little bit more specifics now that I'm home, here's the Verge article, and this is the first to report it. NBC was reporting on it, and it says first reported by The Verge, you know, which to the best of my knowledge was like a publication that focuses on technology. That's what I thought. That's why I thought it was strange that it seemed like there was mistakes, but I don't know that for sure because there's been changes to the platform. I've experienced changes where things got overturned actually in my favor, and in the past I think they wouldn't have been. So I think they made some adjustments at YouTube to what was going on in this chaos of mass flagging, crowd flagging, and stuff like that. But the title. Let me show you the article. No, you don't need. You don't. The title is YouTube issues new strike against Alex Jones' channel over hate speech and child endangerment. I'm just going to cruise through this just so you have specifics. Okay, so it had four videos removed overnight. All right, 3 for hate speech and 1 for child endangerment. The odd thing was, and I'm going to go right to the odd thing, was that it said because all 4 got removed at once in a 24-hour period at the same time, it only counted as a single strike. I never heard of that before, ever. I'm not like Mr. Joe YouTube, but I've learned a lot, and I never heard of that. And in fact, I think I've known people that got multiple strikes in a 24-hour period, and they got multiple strikes, not one strike. So, but again, like I said, there's been adjustments to the platform, so maybe that's the case. And it says while YouTube removed 4 videos, they were bundled together into a single strike due to a quirk in how the system manages violations. Creators are asked to acknowledge strikes the first time they log in following one of their videos being removed. If more than one video receives a strike, they can be bundled into a single violation. The system was designed that way so creators can take action on other videos on their channel if they think they might violate the community's guidelines, sources said. That doesn't make sense to me based on what I've heard other creators talk about how their channels got strikes. That doesn't seem right to me. But whatever, I just don't know. That's what it says. So according to the article, let me just give you the specifics. So there's four videos from InfoWars, their main channel that has 2.4 million subscribers taken down, overnight or in a 24-hour period. And it said that contained instances of hate speech and child endangerment. Sources familiar with the matter said YouTube channels are deleted if they get 3 strikes in a 3-month period. Everybody knows that. 2 videos contained hate speech against Muslims. A 3rd contained hate speech against transgender people, sources said. A 4th showed a child who was pushed to the ground by an adult man under the headline, How to Prevent Liberalism. All 4 of the videos are currently posted over at InfoWars. So, and it goes on, but I think you get the idea. And this will be linked in the description. You can check it out. So just to give you some specifics and back to the rest of my video. You know what? And also it says the video showing the child being shoved was posted to dozens of channels and was removed in each instance, sources said. Yeah. I even think amongst maybe some of these creators, and this is just a thought. It's just my belief, that you have people who even pretend to be opposing each other, so that you would never even expect that they would be teaming up with one another. And I've heard this a couple places, and again, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to target anybody else, I've also thought that, some of these people have insiders at YouTube, either as trusted flaggers or as just flat out employees, that they either are friends with or related to or pay off, whatever, to to protect them, and also to help them in their in their pursuit of basically flagging other competitors, and doing it in a very systematic way. Sorry if I'm shaking. It's getting late. I mean, I almost think they could be flagging each other, testing out to see what actually ends up with a strike. Maybe only doing it in a limited fashion to each other, letting and then leading with a story, leading with a video that they know will get somebody a strike. And maybe even not going at it just then, letting people build up videos that they basically, that are in their past, even if they're only a couple weeks old. And then, and once they see that certain channels that they want to take out and they've already tested these videos through their own associates, their own affiliates that kind of belong to this group that are doing this. Once they test it out and they see a channel has enough that they can strike, give them like 2 and 3 strikes quickly, they attack. I know it's not the greatest theory in the world, but I just got a strong feeling. I see other channels talking about subjects that would normally get somebody who hasn't been on the platform a really long time, get them strikes. And it's just so obvious to me. I don't know, man. But I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm sorry for being so cryptic. I don't want to name names so much. One, because I don't want this video to be susceptible to that, If I'm right about this, there's a number of different things going on. And I don't know, if this would involve some big trusted flaggers, and possible relatives that work at those places. And, but I get the feeling that, certain creators, they feel protected. They can lead with a certain story. All creators watch other channels, and you follow because they got views from that, from whatever topic it may be. Whether it's, it could be anything, man. It could be school shootings, it could be Pizzagate, it could be, lots of stuff. It could be about terrorism, and they just let everybody do it, and then they just knock them down. But I also think that it's a little bit more than complicated than that, because it's almost like a company, I don't know. It's a big jumbled mess, this video, but crisscross, man. Crisscross. You do my crime, I'll do your crime. That's the Fayette Street Bridge. And I'm just gonna walk around and show you some stuff, man. It's pretty cool down here. Very neat. I'm the only one down here, man. I'm the only one down here. And you can just walk, and it's peaceful as can be. It's beautiful. Big, brand new buildings. It's really neat. Amazing. I'm just gonna walk around a little bit. So, I don't know, I sound like a madman in some of my previous stuff. Talking about the purge that took place, and I think it's coming. There was a big creator that was already taken down. Who's behind all this? For the time being, I'm just telling you what I think. I don't want to talk about who I think is behind it. I don't know. A lot of it's just, my own, narcissism a little bit. You think it's you think everything revolves around you when it doesn't. So, So cool down here. All right, I gotta get out of here, get back. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.